I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video, and it is another FIFA 21 confirmed transfers, rumours and player ratings. Of course, all the ratings are predicted. We don't know what the card design is yet, let alone the ratings. However, we can speculate, and of course MEUNIER is our first player up. I'm going to talk about a few players I talked about in the last episode, but I'm also going to go through a few new ones, and quite a few new ones actually. MEUNIER is confirmed on a free transfer to Dortmund. This will essentially replace Hakimi, who is of course on his way to Inter. That is another confirmed deal. So I mean, Dortmund, I suppose, have done all right, really, because they had Hakimi on loan. They didn't want to spend the 55 million that it would have cost to keep him. He's gone to Inter, who, by the way, have had a very good deal. Real Madrid have picked up 50 million. I think that's a good deal as well. And there we go. Everyone's happy. Another confirmed deal we talked about in the last episode. Of course, Arthur has now gone to Juventus. Juventus have had such a good deal out of this compared to Barcelona, and I'm not saying that PJANIČ isn't as good as Arthur, because I think PJANIČ is better than Arthur. However, Arthur's like 23-ish, and they've got him for about 70 million, which, you know, he has like 10 years left in him. Whereas PJANIČ, who has gone the other way for roughly the same amount of money, between 65 and 70, is getting on a bit now. What is he, like 29, 30? So I know he's got a couple of seasons left in him, but if you look at the average age of the Barcelona starting 11, it is around 30 years of age, which is crazy. An awful lot of their players are getting on now. They've bought someone who doesn't have an awful lot long left in his prime. Let's move on to a potential transfer. This has 60% chance of going through. Happy to report as well that the percentages are actually coming through quite well. So in the last episode, we talked about a lot of players, and there was like a 60 to 70% chance of them going through, and a lot of them have been confirmed. And we'll talk more about confirmed transfers later on. But KEPA, the most expensive goalkeeper in the world, believe it or not, could be on his way to Valencia. I did hear rumours of a goalkeeper going to Chelsea, but I can't remember who it was. 60% chance of that happening, 58% chance of William Carvalho going to Leicester. Leicester need to bolster their squad. They are good when they seemingly aren't playing for anything, and then when they need to be, you know, competing for top four, which they are this season, they kind of bottle it, and they've gone off the rails a little bit. I think it might have something to do with, okay, a little bit of quality here or there, but just depth in squad. Angel Gomez, my bad. He has left Manchester United, and he could be on his way to Chelsea. 60% chance of this happening. All the percentages are taken from transfermarket.co.uk. I'm not just making it up on a whim. They are obviously in the know over there. That's their bread and butter, so that's kind of why we've gone with it. And like I said, they've proven to be very good so far. I mean, I've been using them for years, but he could be on his way to Chelsea. Batshuayi could be on his way out of Chelsea and over the road to West Ham. Do West Ham need a new striker? I think so. Haller hasn't exactly been smashing them in this season. Batshuayi proven in the Premier League, not consistent, but he doesn't really have that many chances. And of course, he did it at Dortmund as well. He was quite good for Dortmund. So yeah, you never know. Only 53% chance though. 55% chance of Joe Hart going to Celtic. They're in need of a goalkeeper now, as theirs has returned to Southampton, I believe. But either way, Joe Hart has obviously been released by Burnley. I could definitely see him going to Celtic. Like, no disrespect to Celtic, but the level of opponent he'll be playing in the league is a lot lower than what he would be in the Premier League, and I think it'd be a good way to get his career back on track. Let's move on to Leicester again. Adam Lallana, of course, used to play under Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool, who now is in charge of Leicester for the time being, at least. If he carries on the way he's going, I can't imagine he will do much longer. But there is a 59% chance of Adam Lallana making the move to Leicester. I think it would be a good deal for both parties. You know, Leicester are going to have a very experienced, now Premier League winner in their club, and a player that he used to work with, of course. THIAGO Silva to Everton. Now, this would be a massive coup for Everton if they could get him. Of course, their manager is going to play a big part in getting Thiago Silva to join if it were to happen. It's only a 43% chance though, so I would just take this with a pinch of salt, really. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's very sceptical. He's also been linked with Arsenal because of the old David Luiz link-up, and he's been apparently chatting to him, so we'll have to wait and see. Watch this space. Benevento have just been promoted to the Serie A, and they are making some moves, not just for Jean-Obi Mikel, although he is the first player on the list. This is a possible move. It's not confirmed yet. Of course, he does play at the moment. I think it is for Trabzonspor in Turkey. Could be making his move over to Italy. I've upgraded him very, very slightly up to a 75 rated as well. Be good to see him playing back in the top flights. And of course, now we get to the Manchester United saga that is going to be Sancho. Man United reportedly don't want to pay more than 50 million. Dortmund want more than 100. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a sticky point there. I think what's going to happen, and I mentioned it in the last video, but you know, it's there, it's bubbling over, so we have to talk about it, right? What I think is going to happen is Manchester United have said, look, we don't want to pay more than 50 million, but we'll actively try and sign him. They'll fail to sign him, and then they'll go for Jack Grealish, and they will get Jack Grealish for 50 million. I know that sounds stupid, but if you really think about it, Jack Grealish would be an improvement over Dan James, who I believe is the current left wing, left mid, left-sided player, as now Martial sort of drifted into the centre. Jack Grealish is a very good, proven Premier League player. He's basically dragging Aston Villa along by the neck right now, and I think that he's probably going to be the first choice for Man United. I don't think they've got any intention of signing Sancho. Havertz is a player that could be going to Chelsea, but I think will probably end up going to Bayern Munich. Few reasons for this, but 100 million. And that is euros, but still, it's more or less £100 because the exchange rate is through the floor these days. But yeah, Havertz reportedly could be going to Bayern Munich. Frank Lampard has said that he wants to or would like to sign him, but given the fact that they've signed Ziyech, who would play in the same position, I think maybe he would play right wing, I'm not sure, but they've signed Werner as well, and they are rumoured to be in for a couple of other players, Angel Gomez for one of them, even though he is a free transfer. I can see Havertz staying in Germany and moving over to Bayern Munich, who, by the way, would be looking to replace this fella, THIAGO, who could be on his way to Liverpool. Now, this isn't confirmed, but THIAGO is, I wouldn't say refusing, but he's kind of just not wanting to. Kind of the same thing, really. He doesn't want to sign a new contract with Bayern. Whether this is all a ploy to try and get more money out of Bayern, or whether he genuinely wants to leave, I'm not sure. But he has indicated that he would like to join Liverpool. Liverpool could very much do with this type of player. He would fit the team very, very well. And for 27 million, that is a bargain. Now let's talk about Arsenal. There are 4 players on the books here. Thomas Partey being the first one. Now this is a very low 40% chance. The other 2, or 2 of the other 3, don't even have percentage chances because it's just so unlikely, but we'll talk about them. Thomas Partey would be an absolutely sensational addition. Apparently, I don't know if they've made contact, but there's definitely some interest there from Arsenal. I can't see that happening personally. 20 million for Depay sounds like an absolute steal. Of course, he didn't really do much when he was in the Premier League with Manchester United, but then neither did Mo Salah and neither did Kevin De Bruyne when they were in the Premier League either. They went away, they came back, and look at them now, 2 of the best players in the league. So Depay could definitely do it. He's done well in France. He was obviously ruled out with an ACL and then the whole world collapsed, but 20 million for him would be fantastic. Upamecano of Leipzig, this would be a sensational signing. I just don't know if it can happen, really. I mean, I think it would take an awful lot of money for Leipzig to give up Upamecano. They're not a feeder club like Leipzig, but they have been known to sell their best players, Werner being one of them, of course. And, yeah, I mean, it could happen. And then, of course, we come to Chris Smalling, which I think is a little bit more likely. But then again, it would be a direct sale from Manchester United to Arsenal. He has extended his loan at Roma until the end of the current season, which, of course, would have ended maybe 2 or 3 days ago. But, of course, well, not the season would have, but his contract or loan period, rather, would have. Anyway, let's move on to a confirmed transfer. Sané. It's confirmed, it's done. He is now a Bayern player. Of course, he is 86 rated. I've downgraded him slightly just because he's been out for the entire season. EA will look at that. They won't even look at the fact that he's had an injury and just go, oh, he's only played 4 games. Let's downgrade him, shall we? I know, EA are weird. They're a little bit stupid, really, for lack of a better word. But we'll wait and see what rating he comes out as. But a confirmed Bayern player. Pedro is apparently a confirmed Roma player. This is interesting as well because Roma apparently have confirmed the signing of Henrik Mkhitaryan as well. I've seen a few conflicting reports, but I think he's basically a done deal. So they're going to have two right-sided players unless they decide to move Mkhitaryan into that sort of central cam position. But they have Pellegrini and Zaniolo, so who knows? Another sign then for Benevento, the newly promoted team in Italy, are going to go on. Well, they have. It's confirmed. It's done. They've signed like Remy of Lille, and it's interesting that they've signed like Remy of Lille because Lille are now going to be in a bit of bother, and I'll talk more about that in just a second. Another player who could be on his way back to a club he used to play for, and that is Bakayoko. There's not an awful lot of information about this, but they have inquired, and apparently 20 million euros would be enough to secure his services, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there if you're interested. A player that could be on his way to the Premier League is MILIK. This may involve straight up cash, or it may involve Lucas Moura. I'd be very interested to see if Lucas Moura went the other way. He'd be brilliant for Napoli, not that they need him because they've got Lozano and Politano, but still. And then Osimhen, and that's why I was talking about Lille being in a spot of bother, and that's because Osimhen could be on his way to Napoli. If Milik goes, you'd assume, then they would have signed a new striker, and Osimhen could be that man, which means then Lille are without Remy and Osimhen. That could prove to be a problem because last year they lost their big man. Now they could be losing two strikers. They're going to need to be buying big in the summer to replace what has left. That is going to conclude today's video. All this information was correct at around 4 o'clock on the 2nd of July. Anything that's changed since then, I do apologise, but with rendering, uploading, all the rest of it, can't really get it out instantly. I know I've left out an awful lot of confirmed possible transfers and various things here or there. However, that's what tomorrow is for, right? So when there's enough information regarding other players, I will get another video out to you. Let me know which transfer you're most excited for here. Let me know which one I've left out, and let me know if you've heard any rumours and you think maybe someone's going there, someone's going here, and maybe you support a club and you'd like to see your club sign this particular player. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for you, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.